Hi guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. This is honestly my third time recording this and hopefully my last. So hopefully this is the video that everybody actually gets to see. Anyways, welcome to my first YouTube video, and I am documenting now a new part of my life, which is very exciting. As most of you know, but I am expecting a baby in October. But I announced to my Instagram that I'm expecting a baby in October, and my family and my friends were all so kind to me, and the response was honestly so nice. It was so reassuring in a time where I just kind of felt so alone. Anyways, let me just put in a little disclaimer to this video. If I at any point sound out of breath, it's honestly just being pregnant. Being pregnant has me feeling like I can't even speak a sentence without losing my breath. I went ahead on my Instagram, and on April 21st, a long time ago, almost more than a month ago at this point, I sent out a story and I said, hey guys, send me some questions. I really want to start YouTube. And I said to send me questions about anything, but I primarily got the same questions, just kind of wondering how I found out I was pregnant, when I found out, and how I told my parents. I got a few little extra ones, so I'll be answering those questions at the end of the video. But for now, I just wanted to make like a quick story time, because I feel like that's primarily what I got, was just asking me, like I said, when I found out and how my parents reacted. So I found out I was pregnant when I was, I believe, 4 weeks along. I found out honestly pretty early, and I found out through a traditional pregnancy test after missing my period. I honestly have such a regular cycle, so I knew that when my period was missing, it was kind of something was off. My period is never really missing for this long, so I definitely knew that something was up. Just to give a little background information, me and my boyfriend have been together now for almost 3 years, and we were apart for a little while he traveled back home, and he was in his home country, which is Canada, for 6 months. So we were not together then, but he came back, and I wouldn't call it an oopsies, but I got pregnant in the time that he was back. Now we're doing honestly great, him and I. He's taken this responsibility on so well, and honestly, as time has gone by, I've realized that this is something to see as a blessing and not as negative as I was seeing it. Maybe somewhere in the future I can do like a more extended story time, but for now I kind of wanted to keep this video short and sweet since it is my first one, and I don't want to load it with so much information because it's just going to be too lengthy and people are probably not going to want to watch that. But anyways, another question that I got often and have honestly received so much is how my parents reacted. I think this is what mainly the story time is going to be about, because so many people were interested, because I think most people know that I come from a traditional home. I come from a super Hispanic home. My parents brought me to the US when I was only 6 years old, and honestly, even though we've lived in this country for almost 16 years now, my rules at home have never changed. I've never been one of those girls that has had the liberty to do whatever I wanted, go to however many parties I wanted. I was really never able to do like what most kids were doing, but honestly I'm kind of grateful for that now, because I feel like it spared me from a lot of like bad friends in high school and a lot of just bad experiences in a whole. But anyways, with that being said, my parents are very strict, so I knew that a news like this was going to be really hard for them to take on. I decided to tell them about a week after I actually found out that I was pregnant. At this point, I had already told Dee, and I had told my sister, my brother. Darnell's family also knew about the pregnancy. His mom had him very young, so she was a lot more understanding towards the situation, and she also did find out because I left my pregnancy test there, and she knew ahead of time that I was late on my period. So that's the reason she found out prior to my parents. But honestly, I knew that that was going to happen and that it was always going to be much harder to tell my parents. So with that being said, a week later, I had to sit down with my parents like bright and early one morning, and I just remember sitting on the couch and telling my parents that I had to tell them something. And I honestly think my parents knew, because they had the idea that I wanted to tell them something for a couple of days at this point, because I was just not acting like myself. Honestly, I would say that that first week was probably the hardest week. I was crying day in and day out. I was so confused. I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what my life was gonna be like now. I honestly didn't even really know how I was gonna come across my parents with this news. I didn't know how they were gonna take it, but I definitely knew that they were not gonna take it well. So like I said, I sat them down early one morning and I told them that I had to tell them something. And right then and there, my dad asked me if I was pregnant. And at that point, I honestly just didn't really know what to say other than, yes, I am. And I started crying so much. And I just remember my parents had so many mixed emotions. My mom was the most, I don't want to say devastated, but she was definitely a lot more disappointed. I had so many conversations with my mom in the past, and she definitely always was the type of mom to encourage me to do everything like in a very standard way. Like I had to go to school, I had to get my degree, I had to start working, I had to save money to then go ahead and get married and then have kids, which is exactly what she did, and she did everything kind of perfect in her life. So I think all she did, or all she wanted, was the same for us. I say for us because I have another younger sister. I have an older brother, so I definitely thought that he would be the first one to give a grandchild, but that's clearly not how it was. So when I did tell them, my mom was crying. My dad honestly looked like he took 10 shots of vodka all in one go. I don't even know. That day was so bad. I felt so bad. I felt so sad that day. My mom just asked me like why I did this to myself. My dad told me that I had messed up, but nonetheless, their reaction was much better than I thought it was going to be. They ended up telling me that they were going to never abandon me, that they were always going to be there for me and Darnell, that they were always going to be there for the baby, and that they were going to help me in whatever they could. They said that they were disappointed, but they almost said that they almost saw it coming. I'm not really sure why they say that. I kind of took offense when they said that, but that's what they said. My dad at least said that he thought he saw it coming. So did my mom. But with that being said, telling them came with so many gray days after, where my mom was just so sad. She could hardly even look at me. But one thing that they never did do was like abandon me and just not talk to me and tell me that I was like useless. They never told me that. My parents were honestly so supportive, and I'm so grateful to have their support. I know that that's one of the first questions that my own friends would ask me, like, oh my God, what did your parents say? Because I think just everybody knows, but despite even me, myself, thinking that they were just honestly gonna send me to shit and tell me to figure it all out on my own, they definitely did the complete opposite. I'm currently living with my parents because Darnell is back in Canada working and looking for some homes for us to hopefully move to in the future. But like I said, I hope to be doing this YouTube thing more often, where I can give more story times, where I can give stories way more in depth. But I definitely did want to get this YouTube video out because I know so many people deal with like young pregnancy, and it's just really not easy. It's something really hard, and I don't think people really understand how hard it is. So you're actually living it until you're actually having to figure out what your next steps are going to be, and realizing that you almost only have 9 months before a baby to figure out, which way less than that, because some people don't even find out till months in. Luckily, I found out kind of early, so I've definitely had a lot more time to process everything, and I've had a lot more time to digest everything that's going on. Yeah, that's pretty much when I found out I was pregnant. I found out pretty early, just a week after my missed period. I found out through like a traditional pregnancy test, and that's how my parents found out. So now I'm going to get into some of the questions that I got asked, which was, how did I feel when I found out? I honestly reprimanded myself so bad the moment that I found out. I feel like I completely took the excitement away from a situation that is really so beautiful, but I was just not feeling the situation. Really, being pregnant was just not what I wanted. It was definitely something that I could have long waited for, but I understand that God's timing is perfect. So with that being said, now I feel much better about the situation. I also got asked, do I want to have a boy or a girl? Well, I honestly would just pray for a healthy baby. But honestly, if I had my choice, I'm team girl all the way. I'm definitely going to try to upload this video. And I actually thought I had my anatomy scan this week. Like, as I'm filming this video, I literally had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and I thought my anatomy scan was then, and it ended up not being. And the first time that I did try to find out, my baby's legs were crossed, so I was not able to find out. But that being said, I'm team girl. Darnell is 1000% team boy, so we will see who wins this battle. Nonetheless, we're going to be very happy with whatever God blesses us with, whether it's a girl or a boy. I just, like I said, hope that it's very healthy, and that is all that matters to me. Someone asked me, are you currently working? If so, then where? Well, prior to pregnancy, I was working 3 jobs. I was working as a server, I was working as a nanny, and my parents have a business that I've been working with them since I was 14. Since the pandemic started, and it's been really bad here in the US, especially here in Florida, I am only working with my parents. I'm not nannying, but if I was not during pandemic, I would just be nannying and working with my parents. Someone also asked me, hardest part about pregnancy so far. Well, honestly, one of the hardest parts for me has really just been to accept my whole entire body change. It is something beautiful to be able to create life and stuff, but it is something completely different to see your body changing like drastically by the day, and like little things, like my face is completely broken out. Like, where is my pregnancy glow? I am not sure. I'm hoping it is to peek through within these next few months. But I would say also another hard part for me has been like gaining weight but not looking pregnant. Like, that has been the hardest part for me, because I look at myself and I honestly kind of look like a butterball, and I don't like it. Like, I really just don't. I don't enjoy my body changing like this. Nonetheless, like, I admire my body so much more now. I have so much more respect for my body. Like, I'm literally creating a whole entire human right now. So it's weird, and I don't like the aspect of the fact that I don't look pregnant. But other than that, that's probably been the hardest part, is to see my body change. Weirdest pregnancy food craving. Honestly, I haven't had any crazy food craving, but I definitely crave chocolate milk every single night. So every single night, I honestly go for a cup of chocolate milk before I go to bed. And it honestly doesn't sit very well in my stomach, but I just love it, so I take it. Someone else asked me, are you having any morning sickness? No. I must be of the percentage of pregnant women that are just lucky and blessed by all the gods above. But luckily, I've not had any morning sickness. If I look any different, it's just because the camera stopped recording, so I had to restart the recording. So that's maybe why my angle would have changed. But the next question I got was, have you felt the baby move? Honestly, yes, I just started feeding the baby at like 18 weeks, so maybe like 2.5 weeks ago, almost 3. And it's honestly so empowering. It might just be my favorite part about this all, is definitely to just feel the baby move. And it's just so reassuring to know that the baby's like in there. And even though I don't really look very pregnant, I definitely feel it when the baby is moving. The next question I got was, if you hadn't gotten pregnant, how would you see your life going? Honestly, the same as it was before. I would still be doing the same exact thing. I would literally just be going to school, working, probably trying to go towards the life path that my mom had set up for me. But that's not the case anymore, so I can't really look back anymore. And my last one said, I'm so proud of you, and are you going to continue college? Well, first of all, thank you. And second off, yes, I am definitely going to continue college, because that is not an option. Despite getting pregnant, I still consider 21 being very young, but yes, I'm going to continue college because I need to be someone for this baby. I need to be someone for my family. I need to be someone for Darnell. And honestly, I think school is so important, and like, I would never abandon that just because I have a kid. And luckily, my support system is so great that I know everybody's going to help me out while I continue to finish that. So that is all that matters to me right now. Sorry this video is so short and not filled with probably as much information as people wanted to hear. But I just wanted to make this video like short and sweet, and definitely hope to be getting YouTube suggestions on videos of what to do in the future. Maybe baby stuff, maybe non-baby related stuff. I don't know, I kind of want to venture out with this because I think it's an amazing platform. So I hope to be using it to the best of my abilities. And honestly, just thank you so much. Thank you to my friends who have honestly stuck by me, to my family, my greatest support system, to Darnell, the most important part about this equation, the person who helped me make this baby, who has been honestly so great since day one. My family-in-law has also been great, so I'm just very thankful for just everybody who's reached out to me. I hope that maybe some people can relate. And definitely, I don't have any of the little icons, but like this video and subscribe to continue seeing some more of me. Thank you so much for all your support, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!